Hey guys, Coach Adam coming to you today. It is Sunday on this beautiful fall day. The leaves are turning, and I'm making this video for you today to, help you how to create and understand boundaries, meaning in your relationships with the people around you. So for instance, with us at the gym, things like that, how do I create boundaries? How do Lee and I set boundaries between each other and with our community, and when we're working in the gym? So first thing, tip number one is this: be explicit in what you're doing, what you're working on, what you're trying to accomplish. What do I mean by that? Meaning communicate very clearly and explicitly, what you're trying to accomplish. Let me give an example. When we first moved into our new facility, we had our own office and we had a couple doors on it, but there were no screens or blinds on the door, and a lot of people at first would just walk right in. Many didn't knock, some would, but most, if they saw us in there, would just open the door up. Well, we started doing two things. We need to be explicitly, or our message we need to put out there explicitly of, hey, when the door is closed, again, when you're at your place of work and your door is closed to your office, do people just walk right in? So we want to do it in a respectful manner. So the first thing we did is we put up blinds. And then we realized that we put the blinds up. If we didn't close them though, some people would still walk through, and that was okay. We weren't explicit, and hey, look, when the blinds are up and the doors are closed, it's funny, Lee's looking at me right now, watching me through the window. But when the blinds are on the door and they're closed, don't walk in. We thought we were explicit on that. So what we did is then we started closing the blinds, and then just kind of made a sign, do not disturb. If the blinds are closed and the door is closed, with the do not disturb sign, please don't walk right in, and actually don't knock if they're closed, because maybe we're in a meeting, maybe we're filming a video, something. So tip number one, be explicit in what you want to do and communicate that with those around you, whether it's in your work environment, your home environment. Some of you may work from home, and if you do, how are you setting boundaries with your loved one or the people around you that, hey, when I'm working or I'm doing this in this place, please don't, disturb me, because I'm trying to keep focused thought. So that's number one. Two, don't get mad. So if people are overstepping the boundaries of what you're trying to do and things like that, if they're disturbing you, don't get mad, because you need to look at yourself and say, have I been explicit with my boundaries of, for instance, when I'm in my office, the door's closed, the blinds are closed, we're working on some stuff, doing some productive work. Please don't knock, please don't do anything to disturb us, because really want to get in the flow state to get a lot of work done. So don't get mad with somebody if you haven't explicitly set boundaries. And sometimes this is tough with relationships. Lee and I work side by side every day. So if you're watching this video and you go to your place of work, imagine doing your work with your significant other. Would you really like that or love that, or would you not like that and love that? Lee and I have got to go through some things to learn, what are your boundaries when you're working, and what are my boundaries as we sit in the same office, literally side by side. So one, be explicit. Two, don't get mad, because if you're getting mad and someone's taking or stepping over the boundaries you've set, maybe you haven't been explicit enough about, hey, when you see this, please don't disturb me because I'm working on something. Number three, ask questions. Do you know in your relationships with your friends, your family, with your significant other, do you know what boundaries they have? Maybe they haven't created any boundaries when they're in a flow state or working. And I'll give you another example. I know when Lee, she does our book work, when she's working on QuickBooks and doing that, she does not like being disturbed at all, because she's trying to crunch numbers and do all these things with numbers. And she can knock out, 3 to 4 to 5 hours at a time just working on her book work. When she gets interrupted, it really frustrates her, because she's in her train of thought and working on numbers. So that took me a while to understand, hey, what were her signs she was doing? Because I can look over to her at any point and see her computer's on, but I don't know if she's doing book work, if she's in QuickBooks, what she's doing. So ask questions. hey, what are some boundaries you can set up so I know that you're in the middle of something and I shouldn't disturb you or ask you questions until you're done. Easy way to do this is talking to Coach Hud the other day. Who's been to one of the all-you-can-eat Brazilian steakhouses? I have. It's really cool. If you have, maybe you can relate. When you go to one of those steakhouses, it's a pretty interesting thing. They have these little coasters. And on one side, let's just make it easy. On one side, it's a color, like maybe it's green, and on the other side, it's red. And as they're walking around with meat on these sticks to give you, you turn the coaster over to green if you want more food. You make it red, you turn it over to red if you're good, if you don't want any more meat, and so they go right by you. So it's an easy way that at that restaurant, they've set up a boundary to know, like, if you would like more food and if you're okay, if you don't. So that's something, Coach Hud gave me that idea. I'm starting to use that in our office with Lee and I. Have these little red coasters, and if it's red on my desk, hey, I'm working on something, I don't want to be disturbed, I don't want to lose my train of thought. And if it's not red, then hey, ask questions. So it's a really simple thing to do that you guys can incorporate. Again, maybe on your office door, maybe at home, you write a sign out saying, please do not bother me in my flow state, whatever. And when you're not, you just take that down. It doesn't have to be complicated, guys. Really simple stuff. So number 1, be explicit. Number 2, don't get mad. Number 3, ask questions of the other person. What are their boundaries? And number 4, how about this? You've set some boundaries. You're not getting mad anymore because you understand if someone steps over the boundaries you thought that you were explicit and created. Don't get mad because maybe they don't know. And then number 3, as Lee's still watching me, funny. Number 3, ask your significant other, ask the person in your relationship with, your friend, ask the person in your place of work, your coworker, what are their boundaries so you can help them. And 4, what if you were just more appreciative and loved more? All the people around you, you started loving them more, showing them more appreciation. Do you think they respect your boundaries a little bit more if you appreciated them a little bit more? Something I really work on every day is trying to show more love, more appreciation, things like that. And it helps. So, 4 things, how to create boundaries in your life, guys, to be more productive. Hey, hope this little video helps. If you guys are getting value out of these videos, please comment, like, share, wherever the sign is, whether it's below here, to the side. I'm not sure where it is. We're here to add value to you, to help you become more productive, to help you live a more successful life, and actually to help you love the life you're living right now. Design your life, love it. We're here to help. Coach Adam coming to you, Rare CrossFit. Hey, enjoy the weather. The leaves are changing. This area is one of the most beautiful at this time of the year. Go out and enjoy yourself today. We'll see you soon, guys.